Hi, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Cantey, and this is another episode of Living Enlightened Every Day. And I say every day because it is not somewhere we get to. Living enlightened is living in wholeness, living in oneness, living in peace, living in freedom. And what is freedom but that opportunity to be our authentic self? Freedom to be me, to be who I am in any circumstance, under any situation, in any event, with any relationship, with anyone, with anything that comes up. I am free to be me. I have released my past conditionings. I have released the thoughts of my separation, that I am separate, that I am not enough, that I'm not good enough, smart enough, young enough, pretty enough, any of the enoughs. I've released them. I've released the ideas that I don't know enough, that I don't have the schooling or the intelligence, that I didn't have the right teachers or the right situation. I release the ideas of who I think I am so that I live my life in the present moment in freedom. Let's talk about that. So, as always, I invite you to listen just with that open heart, knowing that in this podcast you will find exactly what you need for this moment right now to free yourself. This is Tabasco, and we're getting ready for a hurricane. I'm coming near to where I am. He doesn't like hurricanes. So instead of being worried and anxious, he chooses to be held in love. I invite you to do that for yourself in this moment right now. Hold yourself in love while you listen to these words on freedom, finding your personal freedom. That is living enlightened. That is integrating spirit, mind, and body. It means the knowledge, the knowing that we are the most unique creations that have ever existed. No one will ever exist like us in this moment, in this place, in this time. Nothing that we do can be recreated, relived, imitated. We are so unique, so special. And I invite you to let go of the past conditioning that keeps us in the belief that we have no choice. Because most of the time, it feels like we have no choice because our conditioning is so strong, it's so powerful. For many of us, we've been doing it a long time, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. We have been using these neural pathways to make the same choice over and over again to where now it feels like it's not a choice. And that is not freedom. Freedom is the power to be me, to choose what I choose, and to open up the neural pathways, to open up infinite possibilities to where I can say, no longer am I willing to do this, to act like this, to respond in that way, to attract this, to pay attention to this in my life. No longer. I'm not doing it. It takes courage. It takes awareness. It takes the willingness to be in the unknown. And guess what? That is the hardest thing for almost all of us. The unhealthy, the unhappy known is so much more comfortable than the unknown until we realize that in the unknown is infinite possibilities, and in infinite possibilities, I can choose. We aren't taught that when we're little. We're taught to be safe, be careful, don't do this. You're going to get hurt if you do that. Don't look at anybody in the eye, don't make contact. Make yourself smaller, make yourself not seen. It's a lot of rules that we are adapting to from the time we are born to gather, to get love, to get acceptance from our family, from our tribe, from our people, from our religion. We're taught to do the right thing by someone else's standard, by someone else's playbook. And we get to a certain age and we don't even know what our right thing is. I spoke to Daryl Anka. We did a talk on follow your excitement. Well, some of us don't even know what would excite us. We've been doing what others have wanted for so long. It feels like ours. And yet there's a conflict within us. There is something that says, no, there's more, but there's something that says, stay here, stay safe. Well, you get to a certain age and you're like, mm-mm, no, no more. I'm going to jump, and the net will appear, right? Build it and they will come. All of it, just go for it. But there's a courage that it takes to step out of the conditioning, to step out of the safety of our family, of our religion, of our peer group, of our vocation. And it doesn't feel good, but freedom feels so much more real than the discomfort of stepping out of the past. There is something so empowering that the first moment you do, you are rewarded with this flood of self love, of self empowerment, of joy. And for what? To everyone else, it doesn't look like you've done anything. You've just made a decision, right? It's something internal that is so much more powerful than anything in the world, the external world of affairs. Finding freedom is coming home to ourselves, to our purpose, our reason to be, our reason to be in the world, and we're aligning with it. And I have a different point of view than the many mindset coaches and life coaches that are out there. And you got to find your purpose and you got to write it down and you got to do all these things. I believe that our purpose is and always has been to be our authentic self in each and every moment, in everything we do and everything we say. Our purpose is integrating spirit, mind, and body so that we are aligned with who and what we are. And that's it. Now, our values may change, our situations may change, our goals, our mission, our vision may change. That's great. But our purpose, who we are being as we go about living this one life that we've been given, who we are being is all that there is. So if we are not being ourselves, who are we being? What are we doing? Don't waste another minute living a life for someone else, from someone else, because of someone else. What is it that brings us joy. And I'm not talking about some ridiculous, laugh out loud, craziness. I'm talking about the simple pleasures of having enough time to spend with the kids or the grandkids, reading a book once a week, going out to see a movie, going out to see nature, a hike, a climb, a swim. What is it that brings us joy? We can just start there. Who am I in this? There was that movie, Runaway Bride. Do you remember that? I thought it was such a strange movie at the time, but I really got I really got the ending. It's a movie with Julia Roberts and Richard Gere, and he's investigating this runaway bride in upstate New York or somewhere. I don't remember. Sorry. Somewhere. And as he's doing his research on why she runs away at the last moment, he's interviewing these exes and finding out, the bottom line came down to what kind of eggs does she like? One ex would say, well, scrambled. One ex would say an omelet. One ex would say eggs Benedict, whatever it was, different eggs. And he realized that she could not know who she was. She didn't even know what eggs she liked. How could she commit to a life with someone when you don't know who you are? Of course, she would run away. Now, it's a movie. Yes. It's fantasy. Yes. Is it real? Absolutely. Some of us don't know what kind of music we like. We've listened to someone else's music for so long. We don't know exactly what kind of food we really prefer or don't like. Maybe there's just a few things we don't like, but we endure them for someone else, because of someone else. And the list goes on, doesn't it? It's someone likes to be indoors, so we're indoors more. Someone likes to be outdoors, so we're busy running around in the outdoors when we prefer to read a book. Finding out who we are is the key, and it's the blessing, and it's freedom to be, to choose. There's another freedom, the freedom to respond and not react. And that freedom is the idea that when anything is happening in the world out there, when anything is appearing in our reality from the outside, and we'll talk about the inside in a minute too, but when anything is appearing from the outside and it appears like someone is infringing on our freedom, they're making us mad. They're making us angry. They're hurting our feelings. They're saying that we're not good enough. Whatever those situations are, it appears like these things are coming to us from outside. And as Peter Crone would say, it's just hot air. They're just vibrations from their vocal cords moving. They're just saying words. And if they were saying them in a different language, we wouldn't even understand what they were saying. You'd be like, yeah, sure. But when we take that personally, like they're actually talking about us and we decide we agree with them, or here's the kicker, we don't agree with them, either one is a reaction. Either one is denying what they're saying or accepting what they're saying and being upset about it. Either one is an agreement on some level. Freedom is when we hear them, we honor them for whoever they are, whatever they're doing in our lives, and we are who we are. We don't need anyone to raise us up, lift us up, make us feel better. We certainly don't need anyone to put us down, to tell us who we aren't being for them. We can look at both of those and just be with it, observing, how is that making me feel? Why would I feel that way? Why would I feel elated because one person thinks I'm special? Why would I feel discouraged because one person thinks I'm a loser. Wow, I'm like the soccer ball getting kicked around on the soccer field, you know? I lose all sense of freedom. But when I am standing in my authentic truth, the essence of who I am, wow, nothing can disturb me. Nothing. And I make a joke sometimes that even the hurricanes, they come, the storms, they come and they do come. Living enlightened, living in freedom, living in peace, living in bliss. None of that means that life doesn't keep living itself, that the storms don't come. I was in LA, the earthquakes happened. They did. I'm in Florida now. The hurricane is coming. But it doesn't mean that we have to identify with the storm. We are the open, empty space that is allowing all of it. And when we really get it, when we really get that we are that big and that powerful, we allow the storm in. Bless it, love it, take our lessons from it. What are you here to show me? What do I need to know from this? How can I love you even more because of this? And we accept it. We just are with it. That is the ultimate freedom to be ourselves in the storm, in the earthquake, in the turmoil, in the betrayal, in the diagnosis, to be ourselves, letting go of that past conditioning that says, hold on, you're going to regret this. You don't know what's going to happen next. Be afraid. What is there to be afraid of, really? What is there to be afraid of? See, most people, and I know this from working with a lot of people, most people say death. Be afraid. They don't want to die. There's a survival instinct. I have seen it up close and personal. Survival is powerful. But when we put it like this, we're all going to die. Have you ever met anyone who hasn't died? No. We're all going to die. That's natural. That's normal. That's what is going to take place as a fact with this body. The worst thing that could happen is not living, is not integrating spirit, mind, and body while we're in the body. While we can play and laugh, while we can create this incredible life, while we can love our life, while we can live our passion, to be afraid, to be contracted, to be shrunken, that's the worst thing that can happen. And if it's happening to you, and I just encourage you to bust out. Break free, step by step, one foot in front of the other. It's not an end game. There is no end to it. There's just one step. There's just doing that one thing that is you, expressing you, creating more freedom. Freedom is our birthright. We didn't come here to play small. We didn't come here to fit in. When we're busy fitting in, we're losing ourself. And as we step into our freedom, we will find more love, more joy, more peace, more clarity in aligning spirit, mind, and body than we ever thought possible. I invite you, if you need help doing this, please reach out to me or any of my guests. I have the most amazing people on this podcast. And many of us have spent years doing this. Years creating classes, writing books, teaching courses and workshops. I love presenting like minds who are stepping up into the world, reminding us of freedom, the freedom that we are. See, we're not creating freedom. We don't create love in our relationships. We don't create joy. We don't create abundance. That's what we are. We are it. It's breathing us, it's living us, it's the energy of life flowing through us. It is life living itself as love, peace, joy, freedom, power, abundance. If there is anything at all, anywhere, it is who and what we are. The ultimate freedom is the freedom from judgments, attachments, reactions, and resistance. I call that the jar. Judgments, attachments, reactions, and resistance. Freedom from those. And what does that ultimately look like? Those judgments that come up. I use the example of when we walk outside and we comment, oh, it's a beautiful day. That's a judgment. I know it sounds like a nice descriptive idea, but when we're not adding thought to what's happening, we get to experience what's happening. We're experiencing what appears to us as a beautiful day with the sun on our skin and the breeze or the trees, the leaves rustling, the osprey flying, whatever it is, we don't have to comment on it. And now you can recognize it, the truth in that when it's quote, a bad day. We walk outside, oh, what a miserable day. It's too hot, it's too cold, it's too windy, it's too rainy. I'm too late, I'm too early. Why comment? Just be in it. There's a freedom in that. And it takes a little bit of practice to just allow the mind to not comment on every little thing that's happening. It's the voice in the head that just wants to come way up front and identify everything and know everything and be right about everything and declare everything. Oh man, can you imagine the freedom when that just sits in the back seat? You know, it's just in the back seat or further. It's just all the way back there. And it comes up to tell you, hey, watch out for that. Sure, thank you. Okay, I got you. But the rest of the time, you're just living in this incredible experience of being without the commentary and the attachments. Like, I need everything to stay just like this. I need everything at my job to be just like this. They brought in a new person. Oh my gosh, there's the commentary. She's going to be like this. He's going to do that. They might do this. They might see that. They might not like this about me. They might really hate this about me. They might like that. The commentary, the judgments, the attachments of everything being the same, the feelings of discomfort when things aren't the same, when I can't have what I've always had. Reactions. Imagine the freedom of not reacting, especially from those people in our lives that tend to enjoy getting a reaction out of us. Maybe you have teenagers, right? They might be a little surprised when you're just non-reactive. You're just holding space. You're just like, hey, I love you. Right? It's like nothing's gonna move me out of this. This peace, this love, this joy, this empowerment. Nothing can move me. Wow, that's freedom. And resistance, all of those are forms of resistance of not wanting what is. So what's the key to that? Accepting what is. And it's not accepting like I love it. Again, it's not the commentary. Well, this is what is, so I better like it. You can see the problem with that, right? Acceptance is just being in with as whatever is. It's being. The words we use don't really describe it well, but acceptance is just this is. I am. We are. All is. And then something else comes up. The way through, right? Something moves, something changes, and there's something else that is. And we're with it, fully present, completely whole, aligning ourselves with our nature, our unique presence, our unique expression, our unique take on things, our point of view. It's like we're in alignment. That's peace of mind, that's emotional stability, and that is an open heart, and that is freedom. Hmm. So if you like these ideas, they're in my book, Living Enlightened, The Joy of Integrating Spirit, Mind, and Body. And I am coming back to one-on-one coaching. If you would like to contact me for that, please reach out. If you would like some more information, you can go to my website. It's elizabethcantey.com. You can always find me on Facebook, Elizabeth Cantey, and Instagram, and all those fun things. If you like this, if you found it useful or helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe. You'll see when all the videos come out, and share it with a friend. Who knows, maybe they are ready to experience freedom, the kind of freedom that isn't of the world. It's not out there. It's not going to be because of our situations. It's who we are. It's a revealing. It's a revelation. Freedom, who we are. And I hope you spend time this week laughing, loving, and living enlightened every single day. Live in freedom. Love your life.